Hello. So we didn't do Deadwater Fell 3, not because we didn't want to, we have wanted to, we just haven't had time. So this is a sum up, really, isn't it, of episodes 3 and 4.
Also, though, I do think it's a little indicative when we fall a bit to the wayside.
Yes.
Of actually what starts to happen to us watching it.
That is true, actually. If we fade away from reviewing a series, it's usually because it's become shit for us.
Yeah.
Like White House Farm, what's it called? Cold Water. Keep calling us to call it Cold
White
Water.
House Farm became so dull.
Well, it became dull and kind of unbelievable. Pedestrian.
Even though it's a true story.
No, not unbelievable in that way. Just all the people standing in doorways looking, it just became a bit rubbish.
It's just a bit, yeah.
Rubbish. Just a bit rubbish.
We'll have to look up the story now because we didn't look up the story because we wanted to wait.
Well, I think I know he went to prison because I saw something about him writing.
No, I know he got caught, but I just wondered how he got
Anyway,
caught.
that's Cold Water House or Farm.
White House Farm.
White House Farm, there we go. Cold Water Farm is the housing estate.
I love it when he gets things wrong because he never gets anything wrong.
So anyway, let's get back to Deadwater Fell. We've discovered, thanks to you guys, that a fell is what, Nadia Sawalha?
Is a forested...
No. A craggy rock.
Craggy rock.
Yeah. Best way to remember it is you could fall off
I
it.
wanted to say ravine.
You could
it's
fall
a
off it.
ravine.
Well, no, a ravine is a ravine.
A ravine is a craggy, like,
But
gap.
think of the fells. When you walk across the fells, they're rocky and sort of like that.
Whereas a ravine is a proper gap.
Anyway, so this was Deadwater Fell. And David Tennant has been at the heart of this, a pulsing heart of it. And I have to say, if it wasn't for David Tennant, I think the rest of it would have been a bit saggy.
And actually, the woman that played his wife, I thought she was astonishing.
Yeah, she was very good.
I really liked her. She was driving me mad the whole way through it because she really looks like an actress that she couldn't possibly be because that actress must be in her 70s now. But I wondered if she was her daughter, Melissa Martin, who was in a big series in the 80s.
Anna Madeley.
Anna Madeley. Can we see what else she was in?
Yeah.
Can you see what else she's in? And I'll talk about her a bit.
All right.
I think she really was the one that kept me the most engaged because I just couldn't work out. I really, really loved her.
Oh.
Like I would seek her out. I would watch things that she's in.
She was in Silent Witness, The Crown, Clarissa Eden, Patrick Melrose. She played his wife in Patrick Melrose.
Oh, that's it. We loved Patrick Melrose.
Yeah. So she was good. But she wasn't in it a lot. Was she? Really? Because she was dead.
But I just think she confused us so much because she was able to bring joy and this, you could still see her, even though she was this drugged, manipulated, battered wife. She confused us as the viewer, which is what you wanted because it was a mystery, because she could also just play such joy when she was with her friend.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Cush Jumbo.
Cush Jumbo. When the scenes with her friend, she was so giggly and joyful and she was I think she played the light and shade of a character living in that sort of a relationship really well.
Yeah, and my theory that her and Cush were having a sort of lesbian frisson.
All
my theories went out the window. I have to also...
Do you remember right at the beginning, if you watched our reviews, when he went, "There is no way David Tennant can do it. It's too obvious."
Yeah, well, they did a double bluff, didn't they?
Where? There was no double bluff.
Well, no. What I liked about... Well, hang on, just going back just for a minute. Another, I thought, very powerful performance in this series was Matthew McNulty, who played the cop, the sort of... The cuckolded cop.
So good.
Cuckolded cock, I was going to say. The cuckolded cop.
It's good job we went live.
Yeah, and obviously the guy who rescues David Tennant and tries to rescue the kids. And struggling under the duress of his wife having had a bit of a fling with David Tennant. I thought he was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
And her character, because I loved Cush Jumbo's character at the beginning, but then I ended up hating
She had no sympathy for him at all.
No sympathy. It was like you've told him that you've shagged one of his close mates and then he's not allowed to have any feelings about it at all. So she really irritated me.
Yeah, and I thought that sort of slightly sort of cul-de-sac story of him having framed David Tennant because he himself knew he'd done it was quite good because it made you sort of feel, it took us up the right blind alley, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was clever.
But I think his journey was a really good one. I mean, I really thought we were going to see him commit suicide.
Yes.
but the pressure that he was under was unbelievable in it.
Yeah.
And I love those stories of how, just 1, 2, 3 things can go wrong and a life can be completely destroyed.
Absolutely.
What is it they say, we're 3 steps away from living on the street? What's that thing? 3
I
mistakes.
don't like to talk about it because I find it makes me get anxious.
Yeah, but it was really good. It was really, really good story.
Now then, of course, at the heart of this, there's David Tennant, and what comes to the fore in episodes 3 and 4 is his relationship with his mother, which is intriguing, isn't it? A sort of controlling relationship played by Maureen Beattie. Tennant's mum was a great character, I thought. She's a very, very good actress. We've seen her on stage. And she was as put upon as the kind of partners, wasn't she?
But it was very good because the twists were all in the characters outside of the main. We thought the twist was going to be with him, but actually the twists were in the supporting cast.
Yes.
So his mum, we were constantly thinking, because remember I picked up on that fact that she'd had postnatal depression. So I was working along the lines of that. I was working along the lines that maybe she had been very maybe cruel to David Tennant's character when he was growing up because of her own postnatal depression, and that's why he hadn't been able to forgive his wife for the postnatal depression, and that's why he turned into a murder. That wasn't proved. She was just a perfectly nice woman. So then when he came at the end to Cush Jumbo and said, my father stamped on my arm and broke my arm, and she stood by and watched, he was building his case for being insane at the time in case he got caught for murder. And it's unsettling, isn't it, for a viewer? Because we want reasons for why people have done the things that they do.
Yes.
And actually, no, he was just born a sociopath because he hadn't had a troubled childhood. Yeah. The father was the loveliest, most gentle man on earth.
He was a liar.
He was just a liar. He was a sociopath.
He was an out-and-out liar. Well, not just a sociopath, but he was a psychopath. I mean, his inexpressive eyes expressing so much inexpressivity, if such a thing is possible.
Yeah.
I thought David Tennant was very good at that. I mean, he is very good at that sort of brooding, searing menace.
And they call it the Othello syndrome. It's actually something that's used in psychiatry when the murderous jealousy that he had for his wife. And this so often happens, doesn't it, with somebody that's a fucker around her constantly. A very close friend of mine whose husband was playing around the whole time, and he used to beat her up if he caught her talking to the milkman because he was convinced she was having sex with the milkman. So again, there was no twist with her talking to Jamie Mitchie, the headmaster. She was just talking to the headmaster, but because he was a dirty scoundrel, he assumed she was having an affair.
And I thought what was clever about the show was it parked us within his head. So I was judging her. I was thinking she must be having an affair.
You kept saying
he must be having an affair. Yeah,
it's really annoying.
I was suspicious of everyone else's intentions because I wanted to kind of trust him. But that Othello comparison is quite an interesting one. I wonder if that was sort of in the director's mind because, of course, the item that is the cause of jealousy in Othello is the handkerchief. Yeah. And at the end, David Tennant is cutting his fingernails onto a handkerchief. The Othello handkerchief.
Oh, now when we discover
bit of subtextual analysis there.
When we discover that he's listened in on this message on the answering machine for the solicitor, oh my God, the lawyer, it was finished. The whole show was finished for me because never in a million years with the lawyer say, oh, we just ring up and leave it on the answer machine to discuss your divorce.
Oh, right.
No.
Yes.
So that was the thing that tipped him over the edge and made him think, oh, she is having an affair with the headmaster.
But there were a couple of creaky points for you. When she let him back into the house for when Cush Jumbo let him into the house for David.
Come on.
She wouldn't have done that.
She didn't even look slightly nervous.
No, you're absolutely right.
How she could have played that, I think, the actress is that she was so nervous, but she was now so angry about what he'd done that she was pushing through her fear. But I just didn't feel the tension in that.
I really liked that scene towards the end when he was sat there and he was cutting his nails. And he was actually cutting the cuticles. And there was blood all over the handkerchief. I thought that was a brilliantly understated and yet overstated, but understated in its overstatedness.
He couldn't even feel the pain.
No, he felt nothing.
He couldn't feel others' pain. He couldn't feel. Well, he could just kill his daughters.
Yeah, but the reveal was clearly he had intended to kill himself.
Oh, and it was a good twist that when we thought Anna Madeley, his wife, was the one that had done something because she ran after the child and she was screaming no, but she was screaming no because she didn't want to go back. Scary Daddy was shouting at Mummy.
And he was going to kill them all, and himself included. And I thought it was good the way they took us back to his POV as he came round, because to be fair to him, though he's a psychopathic family murderer, he would have come around and thought, shit,
I'm still alive.
And it made you rethink how you remember when he first came round and he was panicking. That would have been the horror of coming round knowing you've done what you've done and you've done what you've done and you deserve to die.
Oh, but her face when she knew he was going to kill her.
Oh, I know.
Her face.
God, it was so horrible. That insulin thing. Insulin murders is such
my
a hideous way
God.
to do it. Oh.
And then if the twist was good because he'd insulined himself.
Yeah. So he was a victim too. He was his own victim.
Oh, I feel a bit sick having talked
Anyway,
about
the whole
it all
thing
again.
was I thought it was effective. So in the end, although we did drift away a little bit,
Now we've talked about it. Now we think it's really good.
Yeah, but, and I'm pleased they kept it to 4 parts. It couldn't have extended beyond that.
The weakness was the Cush Jumbo character for me. It was a bit too
not a
wishy-washy.
performance, just the
It was
character.
a bit wishy. The character sort of, it wasn't rooted enough truth for me.
No, I agree.
And there was too much of her.
Yeah. What did you think, guys? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
Was it a
tell us.
must-watch?
Yeah.
Would you like to see this cast again?
What's next?
Are you a
you know
Tennant
what's
fan?
next? The Split.
What is next?
The Split is coming next. That might be this week.
Yeah.
We need to check it
Ooh.
out.
What are you
We'll be
watching, guys?
that.
What are you watching next? What should we watch next that's coming up on terrestrial telly? Or not terrestrial telly? What happened to Messiah?
You ruined the end.